Development of the consumer society has led us to the fact that the natural resources are rapidly depleting. Europe has almost completely ran out of its readily available natural resources located in its territory. Courtiers with developing economies are on the same path as well. Equally divided, colonized, and established the puppet states. The consuming machine has drawn its attention at the Arctic pantry. For several centuries Arctic research expeditions have found large deposits of oil, gas, diamonds, platinum and other natural resources, the reserves of which make up 30% of the world. It so happened that on the seas of the Arctic Ocean passes the shortest sea route between Europe and the Far East. For example, the distance between Hamburg and Yokohama, through the Suez Canal is 18,000 kilometers, or a 22-day journey, while passing the Northern Sea route, the distance is 12,000 kilometers, or 15 days. The benefits are obvious: cargo comes up to 7 days faster, ship owners can save up to $800,000 on fuel and save nerves, because the Arctic is not occupied by pirates. Price of the issue is $5 billion a year, that's the amount which Egypt has earned in 2011. Today the temperature is low, icebergs, multi-meter thick ice. The polar night hinders the development of resource extraction and active navigation along the Northern Sea, but according to the forecast of experts in 30 years' time due to the melting of the ice, the Arctic climate will be much softer, and by that time the cost of resource extraction in the Arctic would be comparable to the continental deposits. For these reasons, in the game for the global control of storage and shortest trade route between Asia and Europe, joined Russia, Canada, Denmark, Norway and the United States. In order to understand who wins the race for the Arctic, you need to understand the conditions of the game and the balance of power. United States, with the smallest sector, decided to play a political card, lobbying revision of the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea in 1982, with a view to revise sectoral variant of differentiation of the Arctic, referring to the fact that the rules for the Arctic must be installed by the US, Norway, Sweden, and Iceland, but not Russia, as Russia is the largest state, and according to the US, does not need more territory. The trick is that United States want to make the Arctic resources available to any country. The trick lies in the fact that the technology of oil extraction platform in the north belongs to several oil companies, primarily from the United States. In addition to the political pressure, the major players in the region have concentrated impressive military forces. According to the Directory of Military Balance in 2014, the total number of military helicopters in the region is 246, combat vehicles 1852, artillery 2378, tanks 2014, multi-role fighters 458 and 3 cruisers, 9 destroyers, 19 frigates, 37 missile boats, 33 patrol ship and 35 submarines. The race for the Arctic can be conventionally considered in the years 2000 TS. Denmark plays the 2-ship management and support type Absalon. Norway in 2001 launches patrol icebreaker Svalbard, with the 2006 to 2011 year inaugurates 5 frigates of the Fridtjof Nansen and 6 missile boat types Gold. Canada from 2000 to 2004 has purchases 4 British submarines type Victoria. Also, Canada, Norway and Denmark have expressed their desire of intention to fulfill their air forces with the F-35 fighters. Again, Norway since 2007 has been developing naval strike missile anti-ship missile to be placed on the F-35 aircraft and onshore. Sweden is developing a self-propelled artillery installation of BAE Systems Bofors Archer. Upgrades combat vehicle Stridesford 90. United States have upgraded AH-64 Apache to work in the Arctic zone, and today the major U.S. group focused on Arctic Alaska has 20 such machines. Also, the U.S. Armed Forces have adapted to northern latitudes impact BPL MQ-1C Grey Eagle and reconnaissance RQ-4 Polar Hawk. These preparations did not go unnoticed. and in 2007 Russian Bear has awakened and marked his territory, hoisted the Russian flag on the ridge of Lomonos, fusing deep-sea vehicle with a tolerant name Mir, Russian for peace. And already in 2008 Russia started the construction and restoration of the northern frontier of aerodromes, which are mini-towns with residential and warehouse blocks with radars, anti-aircraft and anti-ship systems of defense, artillery, and communications units, electronic warfare and drones. To supply remote Russian troops in 2016, designing the new ice-class vessel supply project 03183 has begun. Also in 2016 the new generation auxiliary icebreaker was launched called Ilya Muromets, to supply to the frontier-adjacent airfield with transport planes and helicopters, and to strengthen the group in heated hangars have planned to accommodate bombers Su-34 and MiG-31BM. A multi-purpose space system Arctica will be deployed for surveillance, monitoring, communication, control and lighting of the underwater environment of the Arctic territories, the year 2020. Today, the Federal Agency for Special Construction is building border posts on the Kotelny Island, Wrangel Island, Alexandra Land, Severnaya Zemlya and the Novaya Zemlya, as well as at Cape Schmidt. Therefore, the Arctic garrisons are to monitor the surrounding area and to conduct self-defense in a radius of 700 kilometers, which makes it possible to control the entire Arctic sector. At the same time, with the construction of the Arctic frontier, to ensure that the personnel is equipped with the modern special equipment that can perform tasks in harsh conditions of the North, Russia is testing various complexes. For example, for air and missile defense, Tor M2 is being tested in the Arctic on a floating platform. To patrol the areas of exploration and delivery of personnel, the KAMAZ patrol trucks are being tested. The floating six-wheeled ATVs Drekol, KAMAZ trucks, armored trucks Tornado U, the latest military trucks Ural M, snow and marsh buggies GAZ 3351 Elk, TTM-3 Tiger, DT-3 Pivotias TM-140 tracked carrier Arctic, six-wheeled amphibious vehicle Burlak Army A-1 snowmobiles, ATVs Ruslan, crawler transporter project Lado Rub, Russian for ice chopper. In addition, 2015, Army Forum has represented armored tracked platform called Arctic, which differs from the previous ATV's modern modular design. This platform has a unique place to work in Arctic areas and complements the existing platforms such as Armata Kurganets and Boomerang for climate within wide ranges. For transport landing troops of the Arctic group of troops, providing a support, reconnaissance and search and rescue helicopters. Russia-developed Arctic modification of the Mi-8 Terminator have improved thermal insulation, additional fuel tanks and an adapted control system in the northern conditions. The production of helicopters is adjusted in 2014. For the protection and monitoring of the Russian Arctic resources, the Russian Navy in 2016 has ordered a brand new ship of the Project 23550, combining tug and icebreaker patrol ship. In 2014 it launched a border patrol ship Ice-class Project 22100 Ocean, to supply the Arctic groups by sea. In 2016 Russian Northern Fleet will receive new large landing ship Ivan Gren for a quick concentration of considerable forces in the Arctic zone. In 2015 at the Army 2015 State Scientific Center of the Heavy Aircraft Carrier Project Ice Storm it was demonstrated. Today, all of the media are telling us that the US Navy is the strongest, as it is able to conduct operations against the Surant fleet anywhere in the world. And it is absolutely true, the US Navy is the strongest, with the exception of the Arctic zone. This is clearly seen if the public will switch from Google Maps to specialized Arctic map, where, judging by the pictures of 2016, the entire Arctic Ocean covered by ice at the same time, the service allows you to view panoramic photos tied to Jeep's coordinates. Arctic today is the kingdom of Santa Claus, walruses, polar bears, special equipment courage and Russian icebreakers. The main strength possessed by the U.S. Navy is the air striking group. In battle array, the distance between the cruisers, destroyers and support vessels measured in tens of miles. Marching order itself is a circle with a diameter of more than 100 miles, the center of which is an aircraft carrier covered with the support ships. The Arctic Ocean has its own laws. For the passage of the ship, the icebreakers are required, preferably heavy ones. They have a maximum width that can effectively break the ice and to leave room for maneuver. Without the support of icebreaker, warships cannot operate in the Arctic. Today, United States have two Polar Star icebreakers, Icebreaker Mackinac and Hilly. 4 icebreakers is not enough to post the air striking group consisting of 15 ships in order of battle. Therefore, in 2015, Washington, strongly concerned lag from Moscow by the number of icebreakers, announced intentions to accelerate the launching of the icebreaker which are being built. At the same time, Russia for 2016 has 45 icebreakers of various classes. Some are attracted to supply the frontier, and the part for the wiring of ships along the Northern Sea route. Arctic today is a place of technical espionage, intelligence, annual exercises and maneuvers. Since 2007, Russia is investing unprecedented resources in the implementation of all these projects, to show that the Arctic region of Russia is paramount. Since the Arctic stores the reserves of hydrocarbons, the shortest route for the Minutemen rockets is Arctic. These rockets are based in Montana and North Dakota. Accordingly, the Arctic Islands are a favorable place for missile defense. To prove it, in 2014 in a number of media outlets published statements about the placement of S-400 air defense missile systems, and Arctic variants Panzer in the Novaya Zemlya. Under the Arctic ice, for the purpose to remain undetected by anti-funds, the strategic submarine cruisers are deployed. In August 2014, Canadian Foreign Minister John Brad has stated that the Arctic region is strategically important for Ottawa, and therefore the government will defend their interests and also ready to use military force. Today, the Russian Arctic development strategy can be expressed in the following way. The higher the military potential of the Russian Federation in the Arctic, the lower the probability of a collision. In my own opinion, Russia has two options: to make concessions to the West and to make their Arctic sector internationally accessible, or entrusted to defend Russia plume using a show of force and diplomacy. Write in the comments what scenario do you support and why?